The Seven Immortals were already established in 1972-1973 in Elmhurst, Queens. A guy by the name of Billy Williams was the president of the chapter. That's when I joined. I left the Young Sinners as a war counselor and became a war counselor for them, the 21st Division by Elmhurst Hospital. This is an original photo of us after the breakaway from the Bronx chapter. It was taken at Long Island City High School, I think 1974. That's me, second on the right. The original patch was a 7, a lightning bolt, and a fist. Since the Bronx divisions broke away from us and did not want us to have the Seven Immortals, there was no more unity. I took the fist off. The fist stood for unity and strength, the lightning bolt for power, and the 7 is an ancient and magical number of power. That is our current patch. We currently have a heart patch where I decided to try to bring the unity back. We took it off because of our conflict with the Bronx, but then later I added it back on because, as I said, we were 7 Immortals and they couldn't change the fact regardless of what their opinion was. We had the 21st Division until the Bronx came and decided there were too many blacks and some whites in it that they did not want, and disbanded the 21st Division. As an officer, I restarted the division in Marine Terrace projects that spread to Astoria projects, Ravenswood projects, Queensbridge projects, and all throughout Astoria, Queens. Our turf ran from the East River all the way up to Steinway Street, all the way across from 20th Avenue, the end of Queens, right over to Queensbridge projects in Long Island City. There were a few other smaller clubs that merged with us, as we would not allow any other ones to exist at that time. We had from the 21st to the 29th Division, I had 500 members in writing on the books. Our allies were the Black Cobras in Queensbridge projects. Also, we had several clubs that were our allies in Queens other than the Black Cobras. The Black Spades were our allies. We fought with them against the Black Pearls. Also, the Reapers were in Elmhurst at that time. The Savage Nomads were also out there with us. Benji was the leader of the Savage Nomads at that time. There was also a division of the Savage Skulls in 103rd Street Park in Corona. We weren't as tight with them. And of course, the Royal Javelins. A brother named Ray Bird was with them and was killed one night out at, I believe, St. John's, which really brought us all together. That article says that 6 members of the 7 Immortals were arrested in connection with a murder, 2 attempted murders, and 17 armed robberies. The president of the Latin Gents, his name was Dutch. Jose Escobar, I believe, was his real name. He was the one who was shot and killed that led to our arrest. They had put a contract out on me and a friend of mine from the Black Spades. We were protecting a club in South Elmhurst, and he came in with his boys and demanded a cut. Of course, we closed the place down, and then later he tried to set me up, but some other guys got to him first. When we were arrested for that and we were brought out of the precinct, the police actually shook my hand and several of our hands because they said the guy that we killed was a pimp who would get 11, 12, and 13-year-old Colombian girls to work as prostitutes. Of course, we never admitted it, but they shook our hands anyway I think the only reason why I survived the purge of Queens is because of the Puerto Ricans in my family. Otherwise, most of the members were thrown out. The president, Billy Williams, walked an Apache line. I seen him get beaten with washing machine hoses. He walked through the line and took it like a man. To me, it didn't matter who you were or where you came from. Once you put that on your back, once the 7 Immortals is on your back, you stay a 7 Immortal. I walked an Apache line twice in my life for 2 different clubs, and I watched my ex-president get beaten down leaving a club in Apache lines. These guys today do absolutely nothing to get in. The 7 Immortals, before I joined, were known to be a very violent gang, or club, or clique, as we called ourselves. We were never a gang. Still to this day, I wear my vest similar to the way I wore it back then. I refuse to put MC on it. I am from the streets and will always be from the streets, and probably will die on the streets. I used to wear a cashmere Jew hat as an outlaw hat with a yellow bandana around it. That was one of the things we had to do as well. We had to ride the train to Brooklyn and snatch a hat off a Jew. In 3 years, I will have been an Immortal since 1973, and in the club as an Immortal for 50 years. I'm proud to be a 7 Immortal.